Abominable or Abominable? Hey everybody, I'm Koa.
I'm True.
And this is the Crew Movie Review. Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode. And we watched a kid movie today, Abominable.
But what's new about that, right? We always watch.
Well, I gotta watch them all. So today's episode, Abominable. And it's, DreamWorks. It's a DreamWorks film.
I was like, oh my gosh, because I don't really like animated movies. I mean, I loved Up, but I don't really go out of my way to I have to watch the next new animated movie. Just not my thing. And I was like, when he was saying, "Oh, we have to go watch it," I'm like, do we have to? But
It was the only movie opening this week, so.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It really touched me, and enough that at the end of the movie, I was calling my parents and crying because I miss them so much. I don't know why. Probably because the movie is about this Asian family, and it just hit home with me.
Well, and I don't know what is with Disney and Pixar and DreamWorks and all these family child movies, and they always got to have one parent. The other parent is always dead or not in the picture.
That's the thing.
There's one parent families, and except for one movie, the one with the thoughts in her head, the little girl who plays hockey.
Upside Down, no.
Upside or the Downside or
Inside Out.
Inside Out, yes, thank you. That's the only one where the kid has both parents.
No, there's more.
No, they're all one parent children.
Okay, I don't think that's true, but anyway.
In at least 99% of their movies, anyway. But in including this one, so it's the mom, the grandma, and the granddaughter, and the girl finds an abominable snowman up on her roof, who escapes from a lab, and she's trying to help with her cousins, trying to help them get back to.
Actually, it's not her cousins; it's her
neighbors,
and
the two neighbors, they're cousins.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she's and she's trying to help the abominable snowman get back to.
And I really like that there's no
which mountain is it?
Mount Everest.
Mount Everest, right?
And I don't know. The movie, the plot is typical, of course, right? The typical plot, the heroine goes on an adventure with this newly creature or whatever pet or whatever that she finds, and then she goes across China to get to Mount Everest, and while the bad guys are in pursuit. But there's some twists in it that makes it fun. I think that makes it worth a watch. For example, the music of the
music was good.
It was so good. I can just watch the movie and just the music really brings emotions out of you. It was really good. The violin music that
Yeah. So the little girl, she plays violin that was given to her father who passed away, and so she plays that throughout the movie. And I think they kind of throw in some violin music too, just in the background and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But yeah. Love violin music.
It's the traditional Chinese music, I guess. The traditional Chinese the tunes, it sounds very that kind of music.
Asian inspired music.
Yeah, well, Chinese in particular, Another thing I really liked about this movie is that there is no the angles of the shots of some of this movie is really well done. I can't explain it. There's some of the action shots, when if the Yeti is if the Abominable, what's his name? Everest. They named him Everest. And when Everest is running down, let's just say to make up something a tunnel, they really make that scene really, you feel like you're you feel like you're going through the tunnel yourself. They really make frame the shots and create the shots where you feel like you're part of that action. If you watch the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Just the point of view perspective that they have for some of the shots are really well done. I don't think I've seen it like that in I've seen it done that way in live action movies plenty of time, but in an animated movie,
I think it's a lot easier in a live action because the camera you can move the camera a little bit with the action. And
but when you're doing
animation, is kind of harder.
Well, not harder, but when you're doing animated movies, you have to intentionally do that,
right?
And I like the fact that they went that route. Like it it was different. With this movie, you feel like you're part of the action. I don't know if this movie was made for like a 3D thing, like
it wasn't 3D. There was a 3D option.
Oh, they were okay. Yeah, maybe that's why. Option. Because there were quite a lot of scenes where you're like, oh, that's gonna be really good in 3D. I didn't realize that they had it in 3D. Maybe this is why. That's why they animated it for 3D.
I think maybe I'll go back and watch it in 3D
shots. Yeah, maybe.
I know True doesn't like watching 3D because she doesn't
quite... It's not
that
I don't like it. I can't see 3D that well.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Why am I paying this extra money if I can't really see 3D?
She wants the type of 3D, like, in-your-face 3D. Like, you're kind of like, whoa, hey, I'm getting hit by a dandelion type of thing.
I mean,
and I'm just like, oh, I got depth perception. I can see the trees behind. I can tell that
I have really
the mountain is
behind
the characters. You can see the buildings behind and stuff like that. You see foreground and background.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have really bad depth reception. Perception.
Reception.
Goodness. Depth perception. But that's why I don't see that 3D. All I see is just like it feels like just watching a normal movie. Except the 1 or 2 scenes where a ball is flying at you. Maybe I might see it a little bit, but it's never like, Anyway, I just feel like it's a waste of money for no reason.
Yeah. Oh well.
Anyway, so you like the movie?
I did. I liked the movie a lot, actually. I like the interactions with the kids, with each other, especially the youngest one, and he kind of befriends Everest, and they kind of play around. They get along really well, and they have that camaraderie. And the main protagonist, she's just kind of doing it out of some type of reason that they don't really explain to you why she decides to go and help Everest get back home. I think maybe in some way that her character, she feels like she's not quite home and she's trying to get to home as well.
Yeah,
because she's distanced herself from her mother and her grandmother ever since her father died.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe she thinks that by helping Everest get home, that she will find her way home as well. And so as they're progressing through the story, she comes a little bit more and more out of her shell and gets out of her little comfort zone. Because she's used to keeping busy and staying away from home and doing all these little oddball side jobs and stuff like that, just to get out of the house, get away from her life that reminds her of her dead father. And so when this happens, when they go on this adventure, she's kind of stuck in this adventure. She has nowhere to hide from, and they're kind of this little group that they've created, and it's forcing her to come out and expose herself. I think that's a really interesting part of the storyline there. Of course, that's just kind of what they do, but
it just tugged at my heartstrings because the kid, the teenager, or the young kid, the middle school age kid in the movie, he reminded me so much of my nephew, and I missed him so much. They're around about the same age, and they both love basketball, and the way they talk is so similar. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I miss my family. and I was like crying my eyes out. It just made me remind me of my family, and a lot of the times I feel like there was time that I distanced myself from my family in terms of emotions, and so I didn't let them in until it was too late or whatever. So it made me. I could understand. I felt like I understood that
what she was going through,
and the gap that she had with the family, and finally she was able to close it, and so
So there's that. That's kind of something for like the adults that the adults kind of see that.
Oh, the kids were loving it in the movie theater.
Well, yeah, the kids don't get that deeper interaction. They just see like the goofing around, the playing with the Yeti, and all that. But it's still a fun movie for all ages. There was nothing in there that would speak to me like say like, oh, you shouldn't let your kids watch this movie. There was no bad language.
It was a kid movie.
There was no.
It's not like as good as Up.
There was no hidden
but it's
things
good
in there. Innuendos. I don't think. Well, there was a joke with the blueberries and he's like, I have blueberries where there shouldn't be blueberries, and that's in the preview. You've seen it, and it has it on his butt, and he's kind of like walking around.
Yeah.
But other than that,
that's nothing to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's nothing really. I mean, that's like it. That's like the only thing in there.
Okay.
That I would say like.
So what would you rate it as?
I would give it an 8, an easy 8.
I would give it a 7 only because it made me cry and it made me touch my heart
it's supposed
a little
to touch
bit.
Your heart.
Yeah, but not many movies do though. Not many movies do. Not especially lately. So ever since Up was the last animated movie that really touched my heart because that movie is literally about us. I mean, our lives. Our life. How like. My personality and his personality, the same thing as the girl's personality and the wife's personality and the old man's personality. That's him, and that's gonna be him. We were able to understand it. So I was pleasantly surprised with this movie, Abominable. It was something that touched my heart again, and so I enjoyed that. We all want a movie that can touch us sometimes.
Right.
So, all right,
guys. So I guess that'll conclude our review. So it's definitely a go watch movie. Take the family or go by yourself. But yeah, definitely go watch this movie. It's a good one.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for watching. And that'll conclude the crew review. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.
And watch out for our reviews on these movies next week.